unironically and unapologetically. Jarett Dunn. Jarett Dunn. We just had that conversation. Good. Jarett Dunn's Jail Diaries, episode 1. I actually recorded the first few pages out of this diary in many pieces um, while I was in jail. I don't have that copy. I'll probably find that copy. Not going to do it just now. And we're actually going to mess with the form of it because it's so disjointed. And I tried feeding it to the AI and it couldn't read my handwriting because, well, it just is not there yet. AI is not at the point where it can read my handwriting. Good. We'll leave it there. Out of context, a lot of this doesn't make any sense. It will make a lot of sense as we go through the content. So without further ado, at some point, they gave me a work pack to go through about victimization and to get empathy and sympathy for the victim. One of these pieces of pages was an exercise of writing a letter to the victim, which is actually a English thing. Throughout your incarceration, they try to get you to engage with your victims if they're willing. Dear victim starts off. That's what their suggestion is here. I stand 8 months behind bars for trying to put Pump out of business. Having failed, you went on to productize the live streaming feature with no checks or balances of any kind, allowing countless scores of people to publish live child porn, bestiality, torture, and abuse for your financial gain. In my honest opinion, I should just phrase, I mean, it is well covered by Wired and Bloomberg and Le Monde and a bunch of other places. Just do your own research. Anyway, I will cough a lot. I cough a lot. I smoke a lot. I cough a lot. I apologize for that. I also know you suffered not one bit as a result of my quote-unquote offending, as you re-earned millions of quid every day. Correct. Or many millions of dollars or multiple millions of Canadian dollars. It depends on how you count, I guess, right? One thing I know is this: I will not stop until you are jailed for life for your crimes, and each of your millions of victims is made whole. This is why, as of January 25th, January 2025, I have signed whistleblowing documents with the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, here in the UK. Although this country is plagued by incompetence at every level. The SEC, Securities Exchange Commission, the CFTC, the Commodities and Futures Trading Commission, I think, the DOJ, the Department of Justice. And as you well know, my materials have been accepted by the judge in the current Southern District of New York $5.5 billion RICO or Racketeer Influence Corrupt Organization case against you. Hell hath no fury. Like a stack slightly inconvenienced. I had a lot of resentments when I wrote this. We'll get into that later. Look at the sheet. Stupid Mac, man. Good. Hell hath no fury. I still pray for you. 3. I still pray for you. 3. I know you're unwitting multi-billionaire fall boys for a much larger scam. It's a shame you're being burned for this machine. Oh well. That's about as much empathy as I can or ever will muster. Dear Offender Management Unit, the people that assigned me this thing or whatever, dear, in case I had to pass this in, dear OMU AL, good. I'm not a criminal. I'm about to be released to Canada. Don't add insult to injury asking me to fill pedantic and pedestrian worksheets that do not apply. If you laugh and balk at I'm not a criminal, time will tell. Have some heart. Anyway, I said I was going to mess with the format of this little presentation because I can't be bothered to order this stuff. So we're just going to read stuff because it comes on. This is my deportation order. I'm going to get that framed. Lovely. Fuck the United Kingdom. This is a sheet torn out of like a book somewhere. It says lesson 2. That's the suggestion. I absolutely require a consultation with one or both of my legal teams in America, Berwick Law and Carlton Fields, before seeing my English defense team in person as early as this week. I have been trying to get in contact with Pete, a founding partner at Berwick Law, to no avail. The number is something. The number, fuck knows what that is. The number something. The number sheet, anyway, was refused by finance and pins as they have no history for this law office. It's not in the country. Fine. What does that say? I tried with the help of this pin over the weekend, but the wing is busy and times didn't align. It is critical I get their opinion whether to sign the document with defense, indicating I'm happy to retain my guilty plea and move to sentencing. Berwick Law Wednesday filed federal racketeer influence corrupt organization charges to do with the $5.5 billion fraud by my previous employers, the victims in my case. And I need to know if a guilty plea on my side weakens their case as it relies heavily on my testimony, research, and analyses. Who knows what this is? Anyone? I'll take wagers. I'll take bets on whatever the fuck I was doing here. I was trying to figure out how long I was going to get in jail. Yeah, that's what that is. With all the different programs they have. So I landed on 2.5 years. I ended up serving 11 months, which is nice. If anyone thinks I tried to fuck the cause of money, think again. What is that? If anyone thinks I tried to fuck them because of money, think again. Anyone with... Anyway, fuck that. Sandwiches, am I right? What's this? There's no date on this. Mark, pass this on to Stack. I'm Stack. If you don't want to do it. What? Pass this on to Stack if you don't want to do it. Oh, the Stack account, probably. I know a way. You can load up on a token to make enough to get out of something. This is fairly straightforward, although there is some nuance as my knowledge is out of date. 1, use AI. 2, this is technical gibberish. I don't know if I want to do the technical gibberish during these the technical gibberish during these podcasts. 1, use AI. 2, fork Meteor Scaffold GitHub repo. I've renamed it. I mean, it's Invent now. See, again, my knowledge is out of date. It was at the time. Go to launch.meteor.ag. Go to Solana. This is literally Stacksoul, isn't it? Kind of, not really. This is part of the pitch of Stacksoul. I don't care about technical gibberish, so we're just going to skip most of it, unless you want to come back for the technical gibberish chat. Chads making tokens for degens, powered by Autists. Link to site. I am summoning the last user base not yet addicted to meme coins, the risk averse. As you know, the Solana LSTs, it's Stacksoul. I've been thinking about Stacksoul for a long time, guys. The Solana LSTs can only ever gain value relative to Sol on a long enough timeline, assuming no fault with Solana maintained by the Solana maintained stake pools program, or Sanctum if that's your thing. What you may not know is that you're sending Sol to an LST reserve forever increases the value of that LST. It's how it's mathed. And so all 5 to 15% Sol buy sell fees on this platform are sent to the Arfree Stack LST. That's old news, which you can find on Sanctum and Jupiter. There are 3 bonding curves: 5 Sol, 15 Sol, 30 Sol. It's just more technical gibberish. The next revolutionary feature of this platform is that coin creator can, but doesn't have to pull. This is a good one, actually. Just ignore it, I think. The next revolutionary feature, I said it twice, of this platform is that the creator can, but doesn't have to. That's because I repeated the whole thing twice. So I hope that by giving you risk-averse folks astronomical returns on our free stack. I mean, I did. It's Stacksoul. Technical gibberish. An open letter to the Fleet Street and British press generally. Good. This is going to be good. I'm Jarett Dunn, a Canadian national whose passport can travel was paid for by people I was required to ship here and work physically in the UK. That sentence doesn't make sense. They had 2 Americans and a Brazilian join us under the same pretext on my leaving. Had us all sign the same ChatGPT contract the CEO admitted was shit, but we'll need it to show investors we have employees on paper. That's true. I have a screenshot still to this day. In writing. Herein trafficking and what does that say? Something. Human trafficking notwithstanding. To show investors we employ. Yeah, since my incarceration as a series of miscommunications and being remanded to Pentonville for the most part, I've kept some thousands pages journal. True. It's here. It's this podcast. Genius. What does that say? a searing indictment on the immigration, judicial, prison systems, as it may be. I've struggled with whether or not I am. Holy fuck, son. What is that word? I've struggled with it. Well, remorseful. Yeah, that's true. I have struggled with whether or not I'm remorseful. And I can't even read the word when I see it on paper, man, because that's how much I struggle with it. Remorseful, which hinges on whether or not I've done any wrong. The fact is, they've weaponized the courts against me in order to silence me. I've been placed in a cruel something in British courts. Must face. Must be situation. I've been placed in a cruel game in British courts, and I must face feign guilt in return for maybe less time behind bars. Then having my day in court with a jury of 12 of my peers. Fact is, what is necessary is largely. Fact is, what is necessary is legal. I tried to save some $40 to $80 million in damages. I tried to cause some $40 to $80 million in damages to them as a legal custodian of funds to put Pump Fund out of business. Later, they did indeed cause the Jesus Christ, my writing is not good. Rampant human rights abuses. I warned them at least twice in writing. They need to protect people against, which is well documented. Moreover, the Americans are pushing civil RICO against Pump et al. For $5.5 billion in fraud. If they're successful, $5.5 billion will make users whole, at least in part. I am tired of watching the news on BBC and hearing the government is in dire straits, as they could easily pursue federal actions on Pump for billions. Something that says the FCA warning, given the FCA warning on Pump. Again, the Financial Conduct Authority has in the UK more than a year ago, they're registered here. And given my lengthy email threads, and even since physical writing, that's true, I have a letter in here somewhere to the FCA that they gave me the boilerplate reply to. Oh, falling on deaf ears. I wrote this in the middle of the night on the blue light of the TV, I imagine. I don't know how I could have been more clear with appropriate channels, ex post facto. I am being led to believe I was right all along, and the only way to effect change is theatrical displays. The fact is, Pump is still in business and has yet to pay something. Pay the king any of the 30-ish millions pounds in taxes owing to date is sickening, because it hasn't even mentioned once to the British public, as far as I know, while the fear mongering that is actually covered cries havoc because you have no money. This Pump fiasco is, holy fuck, son, a corrupt organization literally in your jurisdiction, and you just turn a willfully blind eye. That's that letter onto something I can probably read. Anyway, I guess ideally UI UX, this is technical gibberish on DevNet. Also on all your random chances. Remember mainnet release, blah, blah. We're going to start the fundraise now while we build. It's on the other side of this fucking thing. Pump dead? Pump dead. Zzz, yawn. Hello, Jarett. Thank you for your letter. Okay. This is upside down. The format of this will drive people insane. This has a 1 in the corner, so this might be the start of a longer stretch of things that are in order chronologically. Can I do a raise simultaneously with mainnet launch? I mean, that's fucking funny because it's technical gibberish. If no winner yet, to test, I want a GPA, all domains. It's on the other side of the fucking thing. I'm dying. Yes, randomness can be gamed. Okay. Hey, Jarett, quick question. This is from Joel Khalil with Wired. Dear Judge, there's an awful lot of these, dear judges. It's on the back of nothing. Okay. Dear Judge, I never sent this. I never sent most of the ones I'll read. I sent one, actually, before I was in jail. So every single Dear Judge I read you, I didn't actually send in. Or it wasn't included, and I did send it in, mind you. For what it's worth. Your Honor, just... Holy fuck, this is... I actually wanted to send this in. Just... And I just now promised... Oh, okay. Dear Judge, Your Honor, and I just now promises us ITV on the Hour is about to tell us viewers Transport for London is encouraging people... Good Samaritans to step in and intervene if they see harassment occurring in public transport. Today is the October 12th, 2025. I've been remanded 3 to 4 months and sentencing finally November 6th. I was sentenced in December, the end of December. I've journaled thousands of pages at that point and often struggle with whether or not I'm remorseful, which hinges again on whether or not I've done anything wrong. The document I signed indicated I was happy to remain guilty, but you and I both know well I did this only to limit time behind bars, given failed bail applications and the Crown Court backlog in this country. I am not and never was guilty, as there was no offense. Take the definition of fraud and realize that there's a requirement for deceit. Take the definition of fraud, Your Honor, and realize there's a requirement for deceit, deceitfulness. Moreover, I argue, I had the chance of a jury by my peers, a God-given right constitutionally protected. Probably in England. They're fucking retarded. Don't know if that's true. Actually, it's not. They're getting rid of juries. Genius. What I did was necessary. They don't even have a constitution. Do they? Like, I don't fucking know. They can barely do whatever the fuck they want. I pray for the English. I had the chance of a jury, blah, blah, blah. What I did was necessary, which was legal. We're waiting for ITV to prove my point, but I'll further illustrate. The Berwick letter clearly states my immeasurable quality and quantity of material help and further analysis, helping them make their case. My victims went on to cause $5.5 billion in damages. Had I done my job right, I would have caused $80 million in damage to save normal people everywhere $5.5 billion, ignoring all the well-documented human rights abuses that did follow at the hands of my quote-unquote victims. Piece of shit country, piece of shit judicial, prison, immigration, and something crises. Pieces of shit, all of you. Despicable. I hope you all enjoy rotting in hell. Good. That's literally, I'm just reading something I wrote when I was obviously unwell. There's going to be a lot of stuff where I'm obviously unwell. I was in jail for something that wasn't a crime, in my own mind, in my honest opinion. Compose Soland, Universal Delegate gets technical gibberish. Well, FOMO 3D is a good example of realigning incentive as it is more palatable than redistributing wealth as pot grows. I mean, problem is it goes, actually back into that's, for some reason, I don't even know why those papers were there, because I thought I got rid of all those papers leading up to this. This is the beginning of, actually, this is wrong, isn't it? Because this came, I don't know, let's find out. I have an awful lot of journal to go through. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is, no, does it say any words on it? Call Zoom number. Wait till connected. It's a technical specification. Good. The biggest two mitigating factors in Jarett Dunn are whistleblowing and restitution. I want to write the judge a letter for my sentencing. When was this? I'm dying. When was this? August 27th. Is draft tweet. No, I'm writing in here, so it's not that. Interestingly, it might be this. This might be it. Oh, dear Mark. The first 6 pages of this. Yeah, that's the fucking one. The first 6 pages of this. Okay. So it's just like a letter to Mark that I never sent. Next bit is the start of my journal. Here we go. Welcome to the prologue, because we're about to start this fucking journal somewhere. There's only one true God. Actually, what is this? This is about Montreal. This is not even the start of the fucking journal, is it? It says 1 on it. Jordan Belfast was living 2 hours east of Montreal. Oh, that's interesting. I was living to. Why did I write that down? I was living 2 hours east to Montreal. So this is not the beginning of the journal because this is something about me being in Montreal. This is like a standalone in here that I started and then gave up on. If you put a good person in a tricky situation, and they will all do their best to fight the good fights. This says 2 on it. Why does it say 2 on it? There's 1. What it feels like to be right. It's another one of those standalone bits. Stack's Robin Hood approach to would you rather be right or rich? We all know what happened to the guy who used to have a fund. I will just leave it there. I feel bad for that guy, actually, because he's currently facing murder charges and his fund exploded. This is actually what I want, isn't it? So this is all technical specs. My own hubris was my next mistake. Nope, that's not it. Oh my God, my brain, I should have organized this beforehand. What the fuck is going on here? What the fuck is going on here? 8th July. I find myself in Pentonville. I found it, man. All this is later. Funny enough. The 8th of July, 2025 is when my when my journal, Freudian, starts. I find myself in Pentonville after a 2-day delayed transfer to get here for court last Friday. Then the time came and this is not actually the first page, is it? Whatever. And I wasn't required to present. Now, yesterday, on the anniversary of 7/7, my solicitor dropped another bomb and said the judge denied bail. And I am now questioning whether to try to vacate plea and potentially lose my 50% of this off my sentence for trying. Immigration came to see me today and said they'd likely try to deport me come the end of my sentence. I have a long email chain with the Home Office trying to get leave for outside the rules or even marriage, but hit an awful brick wall in any case. I find myself without liberties or freedoms on foreign soil without any of my family, friends, no access, no assets. My pad was changed yesterday, good, to the neurodiverse wing, and for this I'm grateful. There is no Alcoholics Anonymous in this jail, nor was there an HMP in Liverpool. For this I am resentful. Why is it that I find myself here? Vigilantism is frowned upon. No matter how strong my mitigating factors are here, I still stand accused of something, whatever, of something that they consider to be a great deal of money, And I am still somehow liable for 4 to 6 years of my life, my lawyers reckon. Some people just want to see the world burn. It'll be interesting to watch the pumped up fund debacle unfold, while I myself find myself behind bars under close watch. I still will bide my time constructively and earn at least 1 degree while under the care of the king. I wonder if they realize the resentment I hold against the state may well prove fatal for them. I wonder if they realize keeping me an international threat while slightly grieving or slightly inconvenienced will prove their undoing. I wonder, that's why we call this podcast Burden the State, mind you. There's an awful lot of this nonsense in here. I wonder if a single judge actually read my letters or bothered to consider the extenuating circumstances. My blood curdles. My veins breathe a passionate anger I dare not put into words or actions. Not yet. Patience is a virtue. Virtue is a grace. Grace is a little girl with dirt on her face. In the soon time, I may well have additional access. Until then, stand by for further instructions. The game isn't over yet. It's done when done says. My most recent padmate had 6 centimeters of a leg amputated, then went without pain relief of any kind for a few days straight. When they spoke with his GP and transferred the script, they reduced the meds by a shocking 90%, as in 9 out of 10, as in 90%. Even then, I am keenly aware staff on A-Wing Pentonville wrote that he had codeine 3 times on a day when he'd had none. This is the scam. The doctor or nurses at Pentonville in the UK, I don't give a fuck about saying that, assume all pain scripts are junkies, are for junkies, and therefore subhuman, pocketing those pills for fun and profit, a theory I have probably untrue. Absolutely sickening and tantamount to torture. Maybe he and I spent 23 hours a day locked up, killing mice and trapping cockroaches. I'm reminded of Jack Rosider likening me to a character out of Kafka or Camus, where the roaches and mice drove me batshit and I acted out of impulsivity to go to jail where conditions were surely better. Little did I know, eh? If only Jack even knew half the story. The good news is that this journal may well end up being the only piece of content you read the next few years that is completely genuine and not aided by artificial intelligence or even the internet at large. Completely unadulterated drivel, the ramblings of a maniac. This is the first entry. My hand hurts without remorse. Jarett Reginald Stewart Dunn. Then we have the 9th of July, 2025. Almost a year ago, actually. I had slightly better day today than yesterday, although I didn't accomplish much. Little did I know that's what it's all about. I did have an interesting conversation with the library where I reiterated my desire to be a library orderly, and the woman seemed reciprocal. There isn't much to report, although Ryan Gladwin of Decrypt Media has apparently made a visitation appointment for Friday. Lawyers should have an appointment by next week, at which time I hope they provide him my phone. I submitted the appropriate paperwork. He hands me the case paperwork, and we discuss sentencing. I should assert, without hesitation or debate without remorse, Jarett Reginald Stewart Dunn. Is it the whole fucking day? No, apparently I came back later. 9th of July, 2025. I'm having a slightly better day than yesterday, even still grieving, slightly annoyed at the telly. Poisoned Killer is the Poisoned Killer in the Post is on. It annoys me to no end that Pump went on after I attempted to shut them down. And there has been at least dozens of suicides in the West alone that are well known to crypto Twitter. And there's more public interest to lock me up for the attempts rather than them pushing people over the edge. I think, honestly, best foot forward is to phrase this thusly with the media Friday. What can I do after then? What can I do other than tell the newspapers? How else can I move forward? I've been trying this entire time. Dark Diaries got hundreds of thousands of plays, although normies thought I talked too fast. Good thing I can't read my own writing then, isn't it, normies? Tate, consider this what is this? Tate, consider this a demo run of Lucy's Law. This is how unfairly treated people may eventually have a public opinion reverse a sentencing and appeal in UK courts if consensus is punishment unaligned with conviction. I have recommended internet users provide at least $1 one time to both prove residency, more or less, and economically disenfranchise those who would gain proofs by dollar and or time. I have further gamified entries to appeal to my audience, who are mostly prospectors. I would encourage you to be incredibly thankful if you could. I would encourage you and be incredibly thankful if you could review the site, the plight, and engage as much as publicly as you see fit. It would help me tremendously, but also may be a preview of a magic trick repeatable by anyone who finds themselves persecuted by the UK's broken judicial system. Announcement tweet. Recommend and walk me through setting up top 3 to 5 podcast platforms. Then we're into what we're doing just now. And this is, again, a year ago. We're talking about how to do this from jail with Twilio and what that would look like as an app. Okay, fine. Back to, I think, where we were. The first 32 pages of this document or parts of it, illustrated a journal and also my magnum opus. Looking again at the previous... What is this, man? This page I give up on for now is how this ends. Like, what the fuck is this, man? Oh, I can't even see, apparently. All right, whatever. Doesn't matter. If you can't see, can't see. Most of you are listening as a podcast. Anyway, it doesn't actually matter. We just read a fucking journal here, aren't we, bud? Blood. Is this in order? Like, did their death threats throw me at... Oh, my God. What is this? This is the end of this, isn't it? So what is this? Oh, my brain. Whoopsie daisy. Let's just see where this fucking starts and where it ends. W sold, WW sold. This is 29 of, okay, hold on. 29.31. I see what's going on here. That's the end of that. So is this all? Yes, it is. Well, there's 29 pages of this bullshit. Goo. Where does it start? Goo. Is this all fucking this? No, this is all fucking different. This is a different thing here. Okay. We don't want to start 3. Okay. 14, 15, no, 16. 14, 15, 16 million merits. We're talking apparently about Dear Mark 3? Fuck knows. Why does it go 3 fucking 9, bud? Blood? Or is it 8? I always do. This is different because this is in writing. Rex be done to wait or not to wait. Okay, this is all fucked up. Okay. Dear Judge, I mean, good. I think that's part of this. V1. Holy fuck, son. 1. An international petition with an English focus. That's good. I mean, we just did that 2 days ago, didn't we? Freestack.io. Freestack, if Lucy's Law can... All right, this might be the fucking next episode of this shit. Hey, Jarett, I've taken a look at the latest filings. Thanks. Wired. Fucked if I know. Has that 2 on it? Okay. I think this is gonna be the next episode because I'm fucking tired and it's getting late and being loud. Sustained in what is all this? Is this part of this? Am I fucking retarded? Possibly. Possible. So it doesn't matter. This is just admin because I don't want to do this tomorrow. Lord. Good. Grant me the insured ignorance I can apply alleged bliss. Insured insight to infer ostensible gunpowder treason or plot. Hence this auspicious perspective to deduce purportedly either. Good. The ignorance player. I'm fucking funny, man. I think we're gonna fucking end it there, then, aren't we? The goal is to do the fucking 1.57 million pounds. I'm just gonna read curiously whatever this Dear Judge is that I just saw for the lurkers, because there's not a lot of Dear Judges, and I can't be bothered doing this in any particular order. Okay. Dear Judge, Your Honor, I swear. Version 1. This is all water stained and shit, which is lovely because you can see. So I don't know. It's also in print, so it was probably earlier in the series. I have my entire professional career worked towards enriching the average person. I've been quoted, I don't want to make software for people who already have money, and queried, what's your issue? Moral high ground? As it would turn out, I'm dying. I've been separated from my industry as a whole this last 3 months. I've been jailed for trying to take the law into my own hands, executing a Robin Hood style attack, and trying to my damnedest to shut down Pump Fund once and for all. A year later, Berwick Law would file RICO charges against Pump and their enablers for 5.6 to 8 billion in damages so far. A funny turn of fate is that the law eventually showed up and has a good shot at making people whole that lost house, home, hearth, and all their sandwiches at the Pump Fund Casino. This doesn't help the people who took their own lives or suffered human rights abuses as a result of the same along the way. It will, however, set precedents for at least these types of crypto scams. What it does prove, if Berwick is successful, is that the law really does work, and sometimes sets the right examples. During the time I was on bail, I worked with Berwick extensively and was distracted meanwhile with being an active participant and contributor to the crypto ecosystem. Still moving forward with my stated mission and vision of trying to give everyone a sandwich every day. This, in hindsight, is wasted time I could have dedicated instead to helping people stop giving away all of their sandwiches. It turns out that the loss prevention is probably the ultimate goal for service for someone like me of sound moral character. The best tool for such a change in mission and vision is actually rules and regulations, defined as the result of legal precedent set by the groundbreaking work in nascent industries by folks like Berwick. While I'm hopeful they will both echo my unique position and abilities to make, what is this? Well, I'm hopeful they will, I mean, they did, both echo my unique position and abilities to make sense of this wild, wild west in a way we can approach new and evolving scams together and make it clear their goal to work with me upon my release. I am, regardless of this written affirmation and offer, completely converted from vigilantism. The net of my experiences since May 16th, 2024, inclusive, is that I would have
moved the needle on proper channels and due process of law should I have wholly devoted to research and analysis for Warwick, or a like outfit? If I had chosen this route before May 16th rather than acting the way I did, it would have saved people's lives and their human rights would remain intact, as the law could have acted more swiftly with my help. Even by a matter of days, it would have still been time better spent. The lesson here is to do everything within my power and a unique set of circumstances and skills to help people help themselves. The best path forward is to help the law in any way I can to shut down scams like the Pump Fund Casino the right way. Thank you for your time, Jarett Dunn. Anyway, that's this. Is there something on the other side of this? No. The other side of this is the Meteora case. The RICO against is it a RICO? No, either way. The Meteora, the Ben Chow thing. Nonsense and lunacy. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining me on the first episode of this crazy adventure, man. Bye. Share this fucking thing.